Are you sick of having scufflepit incidents during your scrims? Are you sick of having absolute piss poor frames in chase? I mean, I can't help you with the first one. I mean, that's a skill issue. But the second one I can definitely help you with. Let's go. This isn't going to be a video where I'm going to tell you to go into your engine files and uncap your FPS. Alright, that's old news. You can learn that from literally anybody who does scrims or 1v1s or wants to optimize their game. Alright, that's old news. You know that, right? Let me give you the new news, something that you probably, hopefully, most likely, don't know. To do this, you're gonna need two things, a good attitude and, I like $7. Look, no one said this was gonna be cheap, okay? Good performance isn't cheap, alright? Lock the fuck in. You are going to need $7, but you're not gonna give it to me. You're gonna buy something with it, alright? You're gonna buy something with it on Steam. You're gonna wanna go into Steam and you're gonna wanna download an app called Lossless Scaling, alright? Trust me on this is a gift from God. Alright, so now that we have lossless scaling installed, you're going to want to go into settings and turn on start as administrator, right? That's step number one. Don't scale anything yet. Number two, let's lay down a couple ground rules, right? The first rule, you cannot run Dead by Daylight in full screen. It must either be in windowed or borderless full screen. If not, then this will not work. I warned you once. Don't be stupid, right? Rule number two, you cannot, or rather you shouldn't have that many overlays over top because it's going to mess with the rescaling, right? Obviously, reshade is fine. You should have reshade. Steam overlay is okay. I didn't see it cause any problems, but don't use Discord, don't use Game Bar. You know, those things, you shouldn't even have those overlays enabled to begin with, right? They mess with your game. And more importantly, they mess with this. Also, one more thing. You can run the game literally in any mode that isn't full screen, right? And the reason why I'm specifying this is because you can run this if you've got black bars. You can run this if you're just playing stretched without black bars, even if you can somehow still do that. But yeah, it's just a little shout. Figured I'd include that in there in case anybody was confused. Also, frame rate. Very important. Cap your frame rate. It can be 60, 90, 120. It doesn't matter. You don't need to mess with your engine files whatsoever. The only thing that you need to do is you need to go into Dead by Daylight and just cap it to something, right? If you have a bad PC, cap it to 60. If you have a decent PC, cap it 90. If you have an insane PC, cap it 120, right? That's the rule of thumb. Very important because for the next setting that we're going to use, it's going to be fixed, which means it's going to multiply the base frame rate by a specific amount. So if there's any fluctuation within that frame rate, then obviously there's going to be problems. Alright, now the profile really fast. I'm not going to keep you here all day. I'm just going to go through this very quickly. You can screenshot this if you want. Basically, capture API needs to be WGC so it doesn't mess with OBS. Q target to 1. Adjust cursor speed is on so that when you rescale that it doesn't mess with your cursor speed that you initially had on DVD. Under rendering settings, G-Sync support needs to be on. Draw FPS should be on. It's not mandatory, but what it does is it just displays the FPS in the top left corner so you know that it works, right? Preferred GPU should always be NVIDIA, and performance should always be on. Scaling, FSR, sharpness, set it to 8. Mode should be auto and full screen, and then type LSFG 3.1 for frame generation. Fixed mode, like I mentioned before, multiplier to 2 all the way up to 4. Don't go past 4, otherwise it causes problems. Flow scale is maxed out. And that's it. Let me show you how it works in game. Alright, so now that we're in game, I'm gonna just start off with 1280 by 720 just to show you that even with like a lower base resolution, it still works extremely well. So now that you're in game, just hit escape, open up lossless scaling, click scale, go back to Dead by Daylight. Make sure you're on the screen by the time the 5 seconds runs up, because after the 5 seconds, it's going to rescale whatever program you have open at the moment, which needs to be Dead by Daylight. Now that number at the top left on the left-hand side is the number of frames that you were getting right now as like just base in game without any rescaling. And that number on the right-hand side is the actual number of frames that you were seeing thanks to the rescale. So base frame rate is 90. Our current frames are 270, right? The reason why this works better than the old method of just uncapping your frame rate is because the old method, it varies with how strong your PC is, right? With this frame rate, you can do this with a PC of any strength. Just find the base frame rate that you're most stable at, and then just rescale it, just multiply it, and you're gonna get insane frames, right? So base frame rate of 90, I'm seeing 270 right now. I don't even need an insane PC. I'm seeing 270 right now, which is absolutely insane. And this, by the way, is on 1280 by 720. This looks this good on 1280 by 720. Now, if we want to do 1920 by 1080, it's going to look even better, right? Watch this. All right, so now we're on 1920 by 1080 full screen, right? Same thing. Lossless scaling, click scale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look at this. And the barrel and the grass suddenly became so much more crisp. Look how nice this looks. Look how insane this looks. This is like, Bro, this words cannot convey how nice this is. You guys like need to actually like try it out to see for yourself in person, because the bitrate is going to degrade it a little bit, obviously, but like in person, bro. Oh my days. This isn't just me glazing it either, by the way. I've got a comp player who was having issues with his frame rate that I passed this method to earlier, and he was kind enough to let me record a clip of us together to showcase him, you know, explaining the difference between the old method with uncapping your frame rate and this new method. So, yeah, let's watch that. Yeah.
Here, Windows client. Here it is. Okay. You put this, change it to 360. That was like the old method. Put it in 360. Make sure you use this code. Save the file. Go back. Open DVD. You can see it's gonna pop up to 360. Because I removed the cap, you can see on my top left screen that it's not 120 anymore, but it's on 360.
Alright, let's go.
Yeah. You see?
Down to 100.
Oh my god.
And look how bad it is actually. I'm constantly in slow motion.
Wait, you are in slow motion, what the fuck?
This was the major issue with the old method.
Wait, you're like slow motion? It's like a fucking slug trail, look at you. No fucking way, bro. There's no people actually... How do people play with this shit? Like, did they stop using it as soon as they found out about this?
This is the reason why no one is using the FPS cap method anymore, because this was the major issue with it. Okay, so right now I'm playing on 120 FPS, as you can see in the top left of my screen. And you can see that like the game is like, it feels smooth, but you can still, when I move around quickly with my camera, you can see like that it's like pixelated sometimes a little bit, and it's like, yeah, it's not really clear, you know, it's not really smooth. So what I do now with the rescale, I just use skill. In those 5 seconds, you need to press on your screen, that is rescale, and boom, now it should be fixed. On the top of my left screen, you can see 360 FPS. Like I have 120 at the left. That's what the game gives me, but the 360 is what the rescale gives me, and what I actually have right now, what I'm actually playing on. And you can see right now when I move around, I'm like, I feel it feels really smooth. And you can actually feel that it's really smooth as well. Right now when it shocks me, I'm completely fine. It gives a stable 360 FPS, no frame drops.
Look, that's crazy. I'm shocking him and he's not going down to the pace of a slug. That's crazy. And even if we take a hit, right? Like you're just getting like shocked mid-chase, the biggest issue, right? You take a hit, you're under shock. We're not dipping below 300. Not even below 350 even. It's like consistent 360 all throughout. And look, he's getting shocked constantly. Constant shocks, never any slowdown. Stable 360 frame rate. Anyway, Jer, do the outro.
What did I say?
Anything. You get to do anything.
Alright. So like if you guys have any questions, you can either DM me or like knows way more about me. So a bit fuck bro. So I've been playing the game for like 6 years now. I've been playing comp since 2021, and since I found out about this, it changed the way how I experience this game, like in a really positive way. And I feel like yeah, the game feels way smoother, and I can move way smoother around the map. And it's a great experience. Like it's really game changing. So like if you guys have any questions, you should DM, and he will just help you, and he can explain everything about it. And yeah, by the way, if you're streaming, it's completely fine. It doesn't affect anything. I streamed it a couple times and it didn't change anything. It didn't change it didn't drop more or lagged or anything. Like it's completely fine streaming with it as well.